Hi everyone and welcome back to another tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a systemd service for VNC server to auto start at reboot. Now let's move over to my labs server and start the configuration. There are two parts to this configuration. First, we're going to use demo user. I've already installed type VNC server. Now you can refer to my previous video if you would like to learn how to install type VNC. Right, so once you install type VNC server, right, you will have a configuration file created when you first run the uh, config. Uh, okay, you should see xstartup, right? So first let's edit the xstartup file. I've already done the configuration. So a couple of things to add. Now, if you do AutoCAD SEL, you can add on this command. Now, if you're not, you can leave it as it is. VNC config iconic, no windows. You can keep those settings. But more importantly, you should have the startx FCE4 already configured. Okay, save this file. Next, what we're going to do is to go into cd/etc/systemd/system. Okay, over here is where we will usually put the systemd config.service file, right? So I have a couple of them already created. You can see I have my type VNC server for root and type VNC server for demo. Now for this tutorial, let's start from scratch and create a new demo2.service. Oops. Let's make sure you have the sudo rights. Next, let's put in the configuration. Right, so if you remember in my previous tutorial, there are a few things that we need to take note. So we will have the unit section. In this section, you will have your description, type VNC server on port 59, oops, 5990. Okay, and then if the system reboots, the service will start after network target or network is done. Next, we'll look at adding the service, and then for type is will allow forking of the service, right? And then for user, we will be using the demo user, and then on exec start, when it starts, let's execute the command us in the user bin vnc server. You can set the depth, geometry, etc. So we're going to set the geometry first. 1920 by 1080 might be a little bit too big for this testing. Let's just use 1280 by 720, and we're going to launch by port 90. Now, in some of the web tutorial, you can actually have a dynamic service where you can specify port using percent um, input, right? But for simplicity's sake, we're gonna use this launch this in port 90. You can also do a check if there is existing service or VNC server that is using the same port. You can queue that service and relaunch your service. But for this tutorial, I'm gonna keep it simple. We're not going to do that. And then on stop, right? If the service is stopped, right, we want to launch the VNC server command and then run the queue to queue VNC on 5990. Okay, on install section, we will say is wanted by equals to multi-user target. So we allow multi-user to use the service. Once that's done, let's save the service. So that's the service file that you configure. Next, what we want to do is to restart the daemon. Or reload the daemon, right? Okay. And once that is done, we can do the sudo system ctl. We can enable so that it will start the daemon or the service on reboot, and then you'll create a symbolic link, and then we're going to do the system ctl start type vnc2 service. Okay, we should have used the sudo command, or you can key in the password. I'm going to use it. Okay, once that's done, let's check the service to see if it is running. And you can see that the service is running, and we have executed on port 90, and everything looks well and good. Let's, if I do a ss-lntp and grep for port 5990, we should see that there is a service running via type VNC with the ID. Okay, next let's do a test. Okay, I'm on a Mac machine, so I can actually run directly 5980. Oops, wrong port. Nine zero. Okay. So let's sign it in. Okay, and you can see that we have launched the VNC, and then let's look at the who am I demo, and if we do a check, status. You can see the service is still running. Okay, now just let's revalidate, right? Let's issue a command reboot. Okay, let's just okay, let's do a ping poc.ddp.1l, right? Okay, ping is working. Let's issue a reboot command. Oops. Okay, system is rebooting. Okay, now we can see that the system is rebooting. We'll fast forward this. And if the configuration is right, when the ping response is back to normal, we should see the UI, configure UI should come back automatically. So I'll fast forward this part, but we should see that VNC session coming back live once we get a response from our ping. Okay, we see that the ping is back, and yes, so our demo is back up. Okay, ID demo, and if we look at the service again, you can see that the type VNC server demo2.service is live. Okay, it tells you DPMS is missing. I think those are fine because those are probably related to direct terminal and screensaver. Since we are doing remote access, the DPMS missing is all right. Okay, so that's how easy it is to create a systemd service for VNC server, because by default when you install type VNC server, it doesn't create a systemd service, right? So every time you reboot the machine, you have actually to log in and manually enable the VNC server service, right? So with this systemd command, it ensures that in any unexpected event, if the system restart or you manually reboot the system, when the system comes back online, it will automatically enable the VNC server service as well. Okay, so that's pretty much what I have for today. Hope this tutorial is useful. Thank you for watching. Take care and stay tuned for the next tutorial.